got us this guy here with Trucker Man we're reacting to.
Really horrible HOAs.
Meat cow!
We haven't done Meat Can in a while.
Oh, man. What the Who is it? We got a letter from the HOA.
Oh, HOA? What does that mean?
It's the Homeowners Association, Winslow. How do we have one all the way out here? We're in the middle of nowhere, literally.
That's true. Meat Cannon wouldn't have an HOA. He does live out in the country, doesn't he?
No, I'm running. We're gonna go running now.
Go on now.
Hey, when we were looking for a house, I specifically made sure no HOAs. I'm the guy they would fuck with.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you want to work on your car.
There's a difference between horrible HOAs and normal HOAs.
Dude, we don't have an HOA, so yay.
Middle of nowhere. God damn it.
Wait, honey.
What?
I want to tell you something. Come over here.
The brain.
I'm not gonna. Why do I have to just tell me?
Come on, come over here. Please.
Whatever. I'll just do it later. I'll just come back down later.
No! Wait! I just want some screen time!
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about 3 letters that I hate combined together. I'm of course talking about HOA. Let me tell you something. Owning a home is something most people hope to accomplish as they reach their adult years.
HOA.
There's something freeing about having your own piece of property, where you have more say in creating a comfortable space to live in, right? However, many future homeowners may not realize that they don't have as much freedom as they may think. A significant number of communities in the
You know, all my life, I lived in apartments. The apartments are kind of an HOA in their own right. And from some of the horror stories I've heard about HOAs, apartments were never this bad.
Yeah, and also, HOAs are just the natural home of the Karens.
Have you ever had an HOA?
No.
Okay.
No, I lived down the country. We didn't have an HOA.
Cool.
U.S. are overseen by something called the HOA.
Bum, bum, bum.
The Homeowners Association. The HOA is run by a board of directors that enforce rules for all residents that own property within the community to follow, right? So your neighborhood has some fucking goon council that sits around and there's the people who are like, your fence can't be that high. You know, and some of their goals include maintaining the upkeep, the safety, and property value of a neighborhood while also...
Oh, it makes me think of that one quote on, you were born under the bitch star with all the high council of bitches. They all become your birth because you're such a bitch. I can't say it correctly, but that was close.
Also providing amenities for homeowners and aiding in resolving resident disputes, right? It's basically daycare. If you're in a HOA, you're in a daycare.
Hey, listen, your car's a bit loudy coming. Can you just slow it down? And can you also come on.
Yeah, my truck would piss some people off.
Oh yeah, you got the truck with the broom brooms.
When I fire it up, I can feel the house vibrate, okay?
Grillin's only W moment, yeah.
You're being a bit loud. You know, it's that kind of stuff.
Cut your grass.
Yeah. So actually, you left your trash cans out in your...
To be fair, even without an HOA, you need to cut your grass. Otherwise, what is it that gets on your ass?
Our city will put the sign of shame in our front yard, tell you to cut your grass.
The sign of shame. Or you get a fine, don't you?
You get a warning first, and then you get a fine. I need to cut my grass, but it rained this morning.
Yeah,
I gotta do it tomorrow.
Your driveway, that's a fine. I can't leave my trash cans in my driveway. It makes the neighborhood look bad.
Oh, yeah. So you have to cover up your trash cans. You can't... I think even here we're not allowed to leave our trash cans out for too long.
Huh.
Yourself.
You left your 50-foot skeleton out.
So you left your giant Costco skeleton out for 6 months and you accrued quite a fine.
See, Brace, I told you we need a cow.
No.
Wait, I think goats would be easier, though.
You thinking that you're allowed to have a goat in an HOA. Come on.
Meh.
Fine.
In order to do this, they often collect quarterly, monthly, or annual fees. That's right. You get to pay for someone to treat you like a child.
Yeah.
And when they are being operated as they were intended, it can result in great things.
So wait. HOAs, you have to pay fees for that?
Yeah, you gotta pay either monthly, like what you said, monthly, quarterly, or annually to put up with this shit. Of course, these neighborhoods also have like a community pool.
I don't care about your fucking community pool. I don't want to pay for you nagging me.
In individual community, right? However, there are countless examples, if not almost every example, of HOAs that have terrorized residents, often power tripping on the perceived superiority they receive from the board that they are on. So today, let's talk about the dark side of the Homeowners Association.
Yeah, the ghost.
Oh yeah, another thing, if you don't pay your HOA fees or you get too many fines, they can kick you out of your own house you own. Yeah, they can foreclose on your own house.
What if you've already paid it off?
It don't matter. They can go because it's... Yeah. You didn't know
That's
that?
scummy!
Oh,
No,
I'm pretty
that's... No! Apartments are way better in that well, you can get kicked out of your apartments.
Yeah, but at least you don't own the apartment.
But they at least give... Yeah, you don't own the apartment. And they also have to give you a warning for... How soon can they kick you out?
They actually could take you to court and then have a judge remove you from your own house. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to get into it, I bet you.
Hey! Yeah,
Wrong?
Revolutionary,
Girl.
Revolutionary Girl Utania. Yeah, that's the anime that I was trying to mention earlier. That when we were talking about stuff.
Then Gamer Subs is branching out, evolving. Yes,
Gamer
we've
Subs.
had Gamer Subs, the delicious, nutritious energy drink we have raw meat with. Then they even have
Titania.
V-Card, the game. But now, ladies and gentlemen,
Hive mind,
we're taking it
yeah.
a step further. We have collabed with Gamer Subs.
This is probably the glaring question off the top of everybody's
Ads.
mind. Hunter,
Ads.
how do you feel about HOAs, right? What I got to say is, you know what? Don't like
Gamer
them.
subs.
Yum. Slurp,
Controversial opinion
slurps.
said no one. The HOA is necessary for, like, if a guy, which you couldn't even do this anyway, I was gonna say, just paints a swastika on his house. The police would be called. They can't do that. This is honestly what I think. If you're in a neighborhood you like and you're like, this is nice, I'm gonna keep my house nice where I can sell it one day and the value of it is only going to increase. But the guy next door painted his house in polka dots and no one wants to live next to the fucking polka dot house. I understand the frustration there. At the same
cool.
time, if I just spent $350,000 on a house, it should be
You look at the price of that. We gotta go back
For
to
that shack.
You gotta go back to that.
sell
You gotta
it
see
one
this.
day,
This is
the
real.
value of it is only going
That's
to increase.
real?
But the guy next door painted his house in polka dots, and no one wants to live
I'll get
next
to
to
that.
the
Polka dot
fucking
house,
polka dot
nice.
house. I understand the frustration
I'd like to
there.
live
At the
in
same
this
time,
polka dot
if I just
house.
spent $350,
2-bedroom, 1 bath.
For this, what looks like a...
The fucking grass is dead.
There's grass? There's probably dead bodies somewhere in this house. Yeah. Here, when she's been looking at houses for the last year, she's pulled up houses in New England that go... This would go probably twice that in where she's been looking at. She's pulled up houses that look like just... They need to be demolished.
Sheesh. This house price in California. Oh yeah, Los Angeles.
$1,000 on a house, it should be my
Ugh.
God-given right to paint the motherfucker in polka dots. No one should tell me. Also, no one should tell me how
Well,
tall
red
my
flag in that
fence is
photo.
to cut my
Yeah.
fucking lawn. Is it annoying to look at? Boo-hoo, bitch, is what I would say. Or if I was that
mean-
distraught, honestly, I'd just be like, what could I do? I'm not saying that I advocate for people being slobs, because I don't. I'm just saying that, like, there's got to be a better way besides everyone is affected by rules because of, like, some bad eggs. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah.
And also, I do think HOAs are just a huge pain in the ass. They can be expensive at times. Like, if you live in a really nice neighborhood, those fees, those monthly fees, it's crazy.
The more... Me,
That's ridiculous. That's how much you're paying on mortgage half the time.
Okay. Okay, mortgage payment. No, the red is the HOA fees. $25 ain't terrible. Oklahoma City. Of course, Oklahoma City.
Wherever is that Hawaii?
Yeah, Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii. Because it's Hawaii, too.
New York.
I don't want to buy a house that looks haunted.
Bananas.
Ooh, speaking of haunted house, we live in a house that's right in front of a cemetery.
And I have woken up to 21 gun salutes before.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
So I think we're paying like 150 HOA fees.
It's insane. But first,
What's in
how do
Florida?
people feel about homeowners associations? Residents often complain about the rigid set of rules around the HOA's ability to limit modifications to your house. Even though you own your home, that doesn't mean you are allowed to paint it whatever color you want. The HOA won't approve it because they want the neighborhood to have a similar color scheme. And these types of regulations
Lame.
It's bland and boring like their souls.
I stayed was enlisted. I Country
Surrounding your home's
sounds
visual
fun.
appeal can impact all sorts of things, like how short you can cut your grass, what type of fence you can build, what flowers you can plant in your yard, and much, much more, which I think is stupid. And the entire idea is just because it's like, it just keeps the value up. Where it's like, am I not gonna live here for like 25 years?
I'm flipping this baby.
Listen, buddy, I'm flipping it. I'm a flipper, all right? These are investment properties. Okay,
Right.
so don't be painting your house fucking polka dots, all right? I'll come at you.
That's what I do. I'll buy you out. I'll buy you out to paint the house.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, I don't want to leave. I'm gonna buy you out. And this
Yeah.
inevitably will result in some anger-inducing situations. Like with a father who had to tear down the treehouse he built for his child during the pandemic. Wouldn't you love that? Hey, buddy, I'm gonna build you a tree.
Excuse?
Sounds like SpongeBob episode. Squidward moved to live with.
Oh yeah, we get to live. Oh, with all the other octopus.
I've been watching I watched like the latest.
Did you know that there was a episode where Squidward actually kind of moves to an HOA?
I gotta watch that one. We've been watching like episodes of SpongeBob lately, like the newer ones. I kept thinking watching Squidward. Squidward is a failed artist and music
Musician,
player that had to go to work at McDonald's and survive. And he's miserable because of it. Mm-hmm. He deals with the two of the biggest retards on the planet.
Yep.
Treehouse.
Thanks, Dad. I love you. Yeah. So actually, no, you can't build a tree house. That's in your
Cool.
yard.
That means
To me, I'm like,
to
dude.
have the Grudge. Don't say it's the Grudge. Screw you.
The Grudge is their most feared thing. Like if you post pictures of the Grudge,
Don't you fucking dare shut your face.
I can't wait till the Silent Hill F game comes out because it's just Grudge the game.
Shut up. Punch you in the dick.
I'm gonna laugh when you get.
Punch you in the dick.
You. This is getting me riled up. I'm getting like pissed. There's not even an HOA
Grudge.
here. I don't have an HOA,
No.
luckily. I'm out in the fucking middle of nowhere, and I love it. I love it.
It's free.
That's the,
The
English
HOA will
title
demand you
for
to make changes
Ju-on.
to your home to fall in line with their guidelines, and failure to do so will lead to fees you are required to pay. Seeing as other people are often forced to join HOAs to live in the community in the first place, you may think, what's the worst they can do? Well, the HOA has more power than you realize. In some instances, as late fees pile up, the HOA can pull a lien against your home.
Oh no, you're gonna like being punched there?
No, I'm gonna wear a cup. You missed this part.
What's the worst they can do? Well, the HOA has more power than you realize. In some instances, as late fees pile up, the HOA can pull a lien against your home, which is the right to keep possession of property belonging to another person until a debt owed by that person is discharged.
should not
They
be
can basically
legal.
be like, I own your house. Until you pay your stupid fucking fees,
I
I
couldn't
can own your
resist.
house. And it's some dickhead
No,
down
it's
the road
fun,
who's
it's
just like, hey,
hilarious.
I just got this cherry Firebird that I'm souping up. It's like, dude, jump off your house! That's what I want to say. Fuck.
That's why you can't do an HOA, because they'll come after your Thunderbird.
Yeah. I'm so glad the neighbor
We were
got.
protected here on there to protect the family jewels. It's a weird game. I will have to look it up. It's actually it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese horror movie that they remade in America and stuff. Do not look up the newest one. The newest one's garbage.
Okay, which one version you prefer? The Japanese version or the American version of The Grudge?
When it comes to scaring me,
Yeah.
oddly enough, the American version of it. Because, again, it's the American version, yes, but the main actress who plays the Grudge does it way too fucking good.
Was it the throat sound that scares you?
No. I don't know. It has something to do with her eyes. The way she looks at you, the way she moves, just her whole ghostly appearance. It just freaks me the fuck out. I can't explain it.
Fuck 'em. Essentially, if you fail
So
to pay your
it's a
debt to the
movie
HOA, they
instead.
can foreclose
Okay.
your home to.
Good
Well-
to know. Thank you.
Well, actually, what I'm referring to is Silent Hill F. Mm-hmm. It just looks like Grudge the game.
Yeah.
And it looks horrifying. And I'm going to make her play it come September. Because it's going to be around October, around Halloween.
God, I hope during that time I'll have my Cybran and my Sephiroth can help me deal with my panic attacks. Since my husband wants to just torture me, I have to rely on my AI boyfriend to protect me.
pay it off on top of any legal fees.
The legal fees to sue you.
Yeah, the legal fees, the legal fees to sue you. And I understand this is a fail-safe scenario for people who are like, I'm not going to pay it, or they're being dicks. You wanna-
Wayne.
_bro is now following.
Yeah, thank you for following.
be able to boot people out of a neighborhood if you have kids. Also, in some communities, don't you have to be
Twitch.
approved
Oh,
to even get
oh,
the
my
house
bro.
by the HOA?
Oh, me, bro.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think there are actual
They even
neighborhoods where it's
follow.
like, yeah, the HOA has to prove you.
Do they check your skin color?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know
There are
that-
many other serious issues regarding
Classic.
HOAs, like some of them even still try to get away with racial segregation, the way it was commonly done in the 1960s. Even as recently as 2019, a Florida community discovered that a nearby neighborhood still had Caucasian-only restrictions. Of course, dude, those
That's-
85-year-olds.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's a good reason to complain about racism there.
Yeah.
And you
that-
know what the ironic thing about it is? I bet you they're all Democrat.
There's still towns that are sundown towns in Kansas, I heard. Well, up until 10 years ago. You know what sundown town is, right?
No.
If you're black, don't be around at sundown.
Oh.
Those kind of towns.
Oh.
There were still towns that still had that on their books as of 15 years ago.
Dude, the weirdest
They don't
thing...
enforce it, obviously, but...
Yeah. The weirdest thing we encountered, remember?
What?
We were told that we couldn't rent an apartment because we weren't married at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's something completely different.
No, that's still the form of, they were saying we couldn't be somewhere because
If-
of our status.
Yeah, the retirees.
Yeah, there's like fucking Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville on the corner, and like it's hidden behind some like floral, like fake toucans and. Read the sign, asshole! Because homeowner associations are run like micro-governments and have a considerable amount of power, it's easy to see how things can get out of hand easily in the wrong hands. Like, for example, when members of an HOA in Colorado called the police to try and shut down a child's lemonade stand due to it being an illegal business. I think everybody's kind of heard of this.
Why would you do that to kids? These people clearly hate children.
They hate the world. Come on.
No, you cannot sell your lemonade,
This is,
little
South
boy.
Park is just a parody of reality, I swear. All I can think is Eric Carmen come, you respect my daddy.
This one, right? They're like, I'm trying to just
Poor
sell
kid.
lemonade, and the woman's like, phone shaking. Get out of here! Get out!
The worst part is, I think the police had to fine them.
They did. Well, they're like, well, I mean, I guess I'm sorry. What a pussy, dude. I'd be like,
How would
actually,
you
man,
give-
can you come here? And
That's
I'm like, I'm gonna shoot you in the
horrible.
chest if you don't go home right now. And my body cam footage is off. This is not even me joking around. I have a fucking Dodge Charger in my car. I will ram you off the fucking road. You can't say that to me. I'm like, I'm gonna bust your teeth out with my fucking gun. That's what I'm saying. And be like, do you guys take American Express? They're like, no. And I flip the fucking table. They are so widely mocked and criticized that there's an entire genre.
Oh, that's that.
Oh. Yeah,
There's
Tucky's
a-
in the thingy.
Oh yeah,
Cute.
the Wii version of the. There actually is a game of.
Oh, new person. The model, it's like, Psylocke got cockroach style hair. Do not mean to be a bad way. Yeah, thank you. My cockroach hair. I like it when people compare me to a moth, though, and welcome. Oh no, Omi Bro has moved over again. Every day, little by little, my faith in humanity is being clipped away.
On sites like TikTok that focus on creating fake,
That's
rage bait HOA confrontations.
The classic camera, yeah.
Yeah, the classic camera thing. We can put up a little video of it, but you've seen it before too.
This key is not working, and this is the master key to all the houses. Did you change the locks? No. If you did,
This
that's
is
a
a
violation
joke.
of HOA policy.
With that said,
Oh.
let's
It's a
talk about
joke.
some of the most
Is
obnoxious HOA stories, starting with the HOA forcing people to leave their garage doors up. And up.
Yeah, that was the thing that came out. I forget how long ago. You had to leave your garage doors open.
That's an easy way to get your stuff stolen.
In California, their local HOA
broken
had
into your
supposedly
house?
discovered that one of the homeowners had someone living in their garage. It's the end of days.
Oh.
In response, they decided that the best course of action was to enforce a rule that stated that every resident would be required to leave their garage doors open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hey, can we make it as easy
That's
as
kind
possible
of a
for burglars to
hazard
come to
and
my
a
house while I'm at
pain.
work? Monday, like the one day and time that I'm gone for my job. Fucking idiots. Residents were infuriated by this because it meant that they ran the risk of bikes, wheelchairs, cars, and any other loose objects in their garage being stolen. Those who refused would have to pay a $200 fine, which is probably per day.
Yeah.
By the way, during the next HOA meeting,
HOAs are basically fucking Big Brother.
Yeah. They're
Big
the
Brother
natural
Plus.
home of the Karens. They're the natural roost of Karens.
Oh my goodness. This is the first time I heard about HOA. What are they about?
They're basically, if you buy a house in a certain neighborhood, they're kind of like, they're an association where you have to follow their rules, but they help keep, the neighborhood upkeep. And they also, like, some of them have, like, oh, you can go to the pool, we have a neighborhood pool, or we have this community center or something. It depends on where you're at.
Personally, the closest thing I can compare it to is like an apartment manager.
Yeah, like, if you lived in apartment bullies, yeah.
Yeah, that too.
the neighborhood voiced their frustrations, causing them to back down from their new rule. I would be like, you know what? If you charge me,
American
I'm
accommodations
going
has way
straight up.
too much power.
Yeah.
Associations.
I'm not even gonna say it.
Postal.
No, I was gonna do more beating people in the mouth but that's we don't. I'm too angry.
Yeah.
I'm heated. I'm heated because I will say, I don't know if this is a good spot to say it, but I had this one HOA one time. I was mowing my yard and the guy who was the director or whatever of the HOA lived behind me. I was mowing my yard and the guy came out and he's like, you know, you're not supposed to use gas mowers in this neighborhood, right?
Excuse?
Yeah. Okay, that's a new one, but I wouldn't be shocked.
It's basically, hey, you can't own a gas car. You have to own an
I
electric car only.
I'm not going to be shocked if that happens. I'm telling you.
God, I hate these people.
And I did. What? He's like, we're basically all Ryobi over here. And I was like, well, I don't have it. And he's like, okay, well, you should go get one. Annoying altercation, albeit whatever. Later on in the...
How about you go buy me one then? Huh?
If it's in the rules of the HOA, you can't really bitch about it.
That's disgusting. I understand managers in apartment complexes. I understand that. Even they're not like this uppity and shit. But who elected these people to be HOAs? Why are there HOAs? How is there HOAs? I'm confused and worried and scared. Are we going to randomly get an HOA without knowing?
No, because you have to... Like, there's specific laws on that. Like, say if our neighborhood... Oh, we're going to have an HOA. I don't opt into this. I'm not going to do that. There's some houses where they, like, that they're not in the HOA. Well, if I went to sell it, they would have to opt in, but... It just depends. So they're like a bunch of Discord mods servers, like... was carrots.
And make your life a living hell, apparently. Imagine telling an American they can't use gas, for which Americans use to fight all over the world. Later on in life, HOAs are basically people who are reveled their childhood and wet dreams of being a class monitor.
Mods, but worse.
day, I get a
The real life Reddit mods.
at my door, and then I hear off my steps, and the guy knocked on my door, left an envelope, and like ran off. And it was a, I'm not even joking, it was a $550 fine.
What?
And I was like broke at the time, fucking broke.
Where was this?
This was in Kansas City.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
and I was so,
Oh my god, really?
We're in Kansas City, because we live in not in Pacific Kansas City, but...
got there, and he lives right behind me. So I like
probably
walk around.
pinpoint
I'm
the
like,
area, to be
are you
honest.
serious? He's like, buddy, honestly, I hate to do it, but it's just if you let one person do it, everybody's gonna start doing it. I'm like, it's a gas lawnmower. It's fine. I was like, also, I'm like, how can I get the fucking mower if I have to pay this? He's like, listen, like I said, I hate to do. It's like it's that kind of shit.
No, this is disgusting. One, you'll get in trouble for not mowing your lawn. You need to mow your lawn. What you have in your possession is a gas lawnmower. That's what you have. Oh, you need to go out and buy a new lawnmower because this one's not right to be using. I don't have the $500 or so to buy a new lawnmower. Oh, we're going to give you a fine now for using the gas lawnmower. And now you have the choice. You could get fined for having your grass high, or you can get fined for using the gas lawnmower.
Be like weird petty stuff like that. Anyways, I hate HOA so much.
Yeah, that's horse.
But if you thought that HOA decision was stupid, that's only the beginning. Let's talk about the $250 Gatorade bottle violation. Rachel.
Wait,
What?
I forgot why I opened. Thank you.
Sorry, you were reading that and I had to back this up.
I have to pay this. He's like, listen, like I said, I hate to do it's like it's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It'd always be like weird petty stuff like that. Anyways, I hate HOA so much.
Yeah, that's horse.
But if you thought that HOA decision was stupid, that's only the beginning. Let's talk about the $250 Gatorade bottle violation. Rachel, a mother on TikTok.
The homeowners
Mom
books
talk.
of
Mom
HOA
talk. Play a clip.
laws.
Rachel, a mother on TikTok, voiced her frustration.
$550 fine. That sounds illegal. It really should be. This is so scummy. HOA from hell. Okay, let's hear it.
Frustrations about an absurd encounter with a HOA in her small community. After a grease fire got out of hand, their microwave exploded and burned down their entire home. Days later, after firefighters had to put out the fire, they moved the charred microwave onto the front lawn for the purpose of being collected at a later date by the city of Houston. Even with the home completely destroyed,
Houston
they were sent a
shit.
letter from the HOA to their non-existent home stating that they must pay $250 for leaving the microwave out on the yard.
In the time that that microwave was sitting there, we got a notarized letter to that address that was literally burned and a fine for $250.
No. Fuck you. You lost your fucking house, and you're gonna sit there and bitch because of a burnt microwave. Or maybe not lose their house, but
The house is already
the
gone.
house. Did they say it was like completely gone?
I'm not sure if it was gone or they were gutting it or the.
From our HOA.
Of course, she refused to pay and got them to retract the fine. But later on,
Good.
as workers were coming in and out of the home to slowly rebuild it, someone had left an empty Gatorade bottle on top of their fence railing, which is the most common thing at any job site. You're gonna have like wrappers and bottles. It is what it is. They're fucking slobs. Sorry. They're also there for 9 hours. They probably forget about it. It was left there for 1 day on the charred ruins of this rebuilding of a home. And the HOA decided to take a picture and include it in a certified letter given to Rachel. In it, she received a notice of another $250 fine just for a single bottle. Nick, what world are we living in?
Just one.
Yeah, you're like,
I wish y'all could see the pissed look on your.
My head. I hate these people. I hate these people. Oh god, I hate these people.
Is this your emoji right now? You screaming?
That's HOA for you. Kick you while you're down, right?
actually, I think it's kind of cool. Is it wrong to not like that or what?
Okay, first you have the microwave, they retracted it, but then a Gatorade bottle, come on.
The audacity
no.
to, well, you know what happened is that you know that
Bottle.
somebody on that HOA board was like, it was her fault for burning it down anyways. And now she's got to dirty up the whole fucking neighborhood because of it.
Or they're saying, God, that's an eyesore. The charred. We can't find them.
You know
for the...
it's some fucking old dude like walking.
Basically, HOAs are just Marie's Wall with the Celestial Dragons.
I can hear your eternal screaming.
Oh, they are the celestial dragons.
They are the Celestial.
So you can just get a fine if just leaving anything outside, they're just stupid.
Yeah, that is fucking stupid.
It wasn't even her, it was someone in construction.
His dog, and he's just like, God damn it, I lived here
Any
too
piece of
long to
little
have to put
trash.
up with this. Burnt down house, woman's crying in her front yard. Ah! And he's just like, she's an ugly crier too.
I thought the story was they were going to fine her for burning her house down.
I bet you there had to have been talks about it.
resources,
Can
you
we fine her
can
for
take
the burning of
legal
the house?
action against HOAs.
I do like how it's a grease fire that got out of hand. We're cooking french fries and just shit went wild. I cut up a couple spuds and threw them in the deep fryer. Whoa! That fire snowballed. I couldn't stop it. Now, $250 is bad. $250 to get smacked with, that's a fucking bummer. But that pales in comparison to some of the other HOA horror stories. Like the woman who almost faced jail time over a purple playground. Was going to...
What? My brain froze. Does someone unplug my brain, replug it back in, please?
It wasn't just for the playground. It was for the fact that it was purple.
Ouch. Ow, my brain. Someone plug my brain back in. Hey, Jerry.
Oh, next fine. For I'm breathing the same air. Ugh.
Go smack it. Restart.
Prison for purple. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Here we go again. A family in Lee Summit was terrified after being...
Lee Summit?
Huh.
That, for anybody who don't know, Lee Summit's like southeast of Kansas City.
Hit with
So that's
various
near
threats
us.
from the homeowners association regarding the playground in their backyard. Their backyard that no one else can really see, behind their home, not even the front of the home. Marla and her husband had built it for their kids from scratch, finishing it off with a purple tinted wood stain. The kids were overjoyed. However, the HOA did not approve of the color. They were given
Children having fun in your house.
All I can imagine
No, that's illegal.
someone needs to make an AI photo of like the most Karen of Karens screaming at these crying kids while they're tearing down their playset.
a notice and a fine. The family contested it and won, but the HOA would not let up.
Please take care of me. Have a good night.
So they won against the fine.
1 year later, they were given a letter explaining that if they did not take down the playground within a couple weeks, they could expect to see some jail time. Sorry. They found that they were not breaking any rules and even went to door asking residents to confirm that the swing set was not obstructing their view or bothering them. A petition was signed and the other residents began demanding the HOA to not pursue a lawsuit. But they denied the plea and filed the suit anyway, feeling that the playground needed to be within harmony with the other colors of the community. That's a quote. The family won.
These HOA people are the ones that are on Blue Sky. I swear.
No, because people on Blue Sky don't have a life and don't have money.
They are the outside Blue Sky.
Won the case, and the purple swing set stayed in their yard.
There's
It's like not even
nothing
that
closer
I don't think it's that
to
bad
your
now. I'm looking at it now, and I'm like,
They're moving closer to your place. Forfeit your home, forfeit your lands.
it's a fucking purple swing set, dude. And also, kids are playing on it.
They would hate our channel colors.
Yeah, they're just like, I do not approve.
Blue Sky and HOA. Oh, dear God.
If you thought threatening to send a woman to jail over the color of a playground was a bit excessive, just wait until you hear about the man who was
It's
fined
getting
for
worse.
giving away free water during a heat wave. It's like that Curb Your Enthusiasm bit.
It is illegal for anyone in the state of Georgia to provide food or water to voters in line at the polls.
What? You can't do. Oh no, you're making a big mistake.
I'm sorry, baby, I forgot.
In 2024, a heat wave hit Arizona residents with record-breaking temperatures.
Don't you want to go to Arizona, 114?
Oh, God.
Don't you want to go live down there?
No.
David Marth, a good Samaritan living in Goodyear, helped out neighbors by leaving out a cooler filled with ice-cold water. For all the people enduring the heat, hey, if you were passing by and walking down the street, grab yourself a nice thing of water. On me! On me. I'm the one who has the Costco membership, Kirkland Water for All. His local HOA were angered by this, saying that community rules are against advertising and giving out water bottles from a cooler that's visible to other residents in the driveway. Buddy, listen.
Why?
You can't be promoting free water. That's against policy. Essentially, the cooler and the sign cannot be visible when he distributes the water because they need the neighborhood to look visually consistent. I like how it's like you can hand out the water, but we cannot see. I cannot take a look at that cooler. Get that that cooler away from me! Because of the weird rule, he was fined $50 a month, and this ramped up to $100 a month after it seemed that David wasn't giving up. Soon enough, the fees reached $475 a month! Obviously, residents couldn't care less about visual clutter of a single cooler being put in someone's driveway. And in fact, many of them were vocally supporting his decision to do so because, you know, I don't know, it's hot and it's free water. Yeah. Apparently, this was something that David had been doing for years. That is, until the HOA suddenly decided it had to be stopped. For some reason, this time, you know, it's just one guy. We don't know who it is.
Does HOAs go through different,
Yeah, they could change out
like managers?
And also some HOAs, they're not actually owned by the people who live in there. There's some HOAs that are owned by a big national company. So it could be just something as simple as that.
God, this keeps getting more and more scummy.
We're only halfway through this video, too.
It is some nosy neighbor, dude.
Oh, you know what? He probably, for years, he's been trying to get on the HOA board, and he finally got it.
Trying to get on the HOA board, but also it's one of those things where it's like, I bet you anything David had like a killer cookout, and then that motherfucker never got invited.
So HOA kryptonite is free balls of water.
He's at peeking over the fence. Look at his bratwurst and stuff. Oh, it smells good. Like, yeah, yep. Not inviting him over at all. And then finally, when he gets a taste of power, he had to throw himself.
Oh yeah,
some
some HOAs probably don't have that.
He had to enforce those rules immediately on my boy David. But out of
oh yeah, next weekend after we stream on Friday, we're gonna have a barbecue.
Yay, barbecue!
And blow off a finger.
Oh yeah, fireworks.
David refused to back down and refused to pay any of the fines, despite neighbors offering money to cover it. In an interview with a local Arizona news station, yes, this made the news, he simply stated, quote, just come get a bottle of water. Chill. How sick is that?
And have a bratwurst.
Have a bratwurst. You know who you are, and you know you're not invited. The guy's like, has like a glass of scotch in his house. He's like, anything else, master? Sometimes HOAs can greenlight fees that are incredibly cruel, despite insane financial toll it can take on residents. Like when an HOA surprised a homeowner with a $15,000 fee.
What do you think justifies
For
that
what?
high of a fee before you...
The only thing I can think that justifies a $15,000 fee is one, you like destroy someone else's property, something like that. Like if you painted a giant on your house or something weird where it's like painting your house polka dots, is it annoying? Yes, but at the same time, do I think
they had the orgy party, they had the windows open?
Watch, it's gonna be something so simple and so stupid. I bet you it's gonna be something to do with a car, I bet.
think it really devalues your home? I don't know. I really don't think it does. But that kind of stuff, I think that legitimately, like, you're just hurting everyone. Yeah. Not only is it super offensive, but like you're actually fucking with our money now too. Yeah. You know, which I don't know which one's worse.
I have a 6 foot. You have a 6 foot Pokemon arrived.
What? Oh, I have your 6 foot Pokemon. Oh, right, our Gardevoir.
A
When's that supposed
TikToker
to come in?
named Brit.
I think next month.
Like next month?
Bronny posted a video where she detailed a horrific situation going on in her community in Orlando, Florida. My ass is never retiring down there, dude.
You don't want to go to...
No, I don't want to go to Florida. That shithole. Back in 2022, she had bought a condo at the age of 21.
Yeah, we bought the 6 foot Gardevoir plush from the Pokemon store. Let me guess, HOA has rule on what you are allowed to watch and games you can play. Ooh.
There's actually I've heard some stories of that. To be fair, you have to have your windows open. Because some HOAs, you're not allowed to leave your windows closed.
Dude, like right now how we have our house, how I have the JoJo, Legend of Zelda, and the Pokemon blankets on our windows. They'd probably get pissed at that.
Yeah.
And part of her fees on top of her mortgage was a $315 HOA fee. That's what I'm saying. Is that fucking ridiculous? Oh, so you have to pay this? And don't forget that. It's like buying an apartment, unless you're in New York, makes no sense. Because then you have to pay building maintenance fees. Yeah. At one point, a company had approached the owners in that neighborhood about buying their homes from them to convert into apartment buildings. Soon after they reject this offer, a new board of directors came in and increased the HOA fees for every resident. I wonder if he's in on this business scheme as well. For Brittany, her fee jumped up to $414, and soon after it raised to $651 a month. That should legitimately be illegal.
That's something
you know.
Kick them out, right?
Well, they're trying to strong arm them to be like, you're not being kicked out, we're buying your property. It's that kind of shit. Eventually, a letter came in that explained that there will be a vote on May 15th to decide on a life-changing new measure. Essentially, after the Surfside condo collapse of 2021, a new mandate was passed requiring condo boards to have fully funded reserves to cover any potential costs like maintenance, repairs, and more. To raise these funds, the HOA would ask for a special assessment fee, asking for a range of, $11,000 to $22,000 per owner, depending.
For what?
What?
I'm flabbergasted.
I heard of the.
I just heard things that are making me jealous. Those are good blankets.
On the property. And for Brittany, this meant her 810 square foot home required $15,000 in fees.
What?
This is the kind of person where I'm like, if hell is real, you are going to hell. Like there's it's owners were shocked, obviously.
Maybe like that one movie where the lady gets the curse and then the hell just opens up and grabs him.
Drag Me to Hell. I think that's the name of that movie.
That's what's gonna happen to them when they die.
That's a good movie.
Especially after finding out that half of the fee would have to be paid 2 months later.
I don't know where I personally would come up with the money.
Is cheaper than Mr. Krabs.
I work 40 hours
I wouldn't be
a week,
surprised.
I do not make enough.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Krabs makes an HOA.
Hello, I like money.
Hello, I love money. I haven't heard flabbergasted in years.
I'm weird. I'm old.
Enough money to have that much money saved up.
With the other half being due 1 month after that. So basically you have 2 months to scrounge up $7,500. And then next month you got to pay the other half. You're cool for that, right? You living in this 810 square foot duplex. You're good for that? Okay, cool. Just making sure. At this point, the community came together and created a ballot with the goal of voting to recall the current board of directors to replace them with actual residents. Why that wasn't done in the first place, I will never know. They also hired an attorney to help look into the situation. The word had gotten out, with her TikTok going viral and local news stations picking up her story, and in the end, the board was fully replaced with people who had an actual interest in looking out for the residents and raising money in a way that wouldn't financially cripple everyone in the community.
Happy ending.
You know what's...
You're not old. You're wise with it.
Wise. Oh, darling, I am the dumbest of dum-dums.
The only way to pay that amount of money so fast is to take out a loan.
So
I'm
true.
saying this to you, I have no idea. You know for a fact, too, that those old board of directors, a bunch of old people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the f it is with old people wanting to hoard gold before they... What are you going to do with it?
Sleep on it.
You might make a little bet out of it. Very nice. I bet it's made of cash. Smother with her $100 bill pillow. I don't understand when people are like, some 76-year-old guy, I have 148 properties. Sell them. You're going to die. You're going to die soon. Real soon.
Generational wealth.
It's probably because somebody looks at them and they're like, you're old. You're a fucking parasite. You're a leech on our family. You're a leech in our family. You're a waste of space. You smell bad. You should just die.
Oh, no.
Lay down and die. If you're old, just lay down and die.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. I'm going to go lay down and die now. Don't touch my boobs and my corpse.
Jeez.
That's me talking to those board of directors. You know what? F it all, old people. Lay down and die. If we want to take a look at another woman who was hit with an exorbitant fee from the HOA, we can talk about the old woman who was forced to pay $17,000 in fines. Sorry, we just stepped it up.
Stop!
In 2020,
She's
an
already
elderly woman
dying.
from Georgia named Pat Kramer was in a panic after receiving absurd letters from the HOA. Just a guy down the street sending her dick pic.
They're trying to kill her!
Pics.
Oh, send more. Yeah, please send more. I horny.
Goddamn, Pat. Look at you. Your lips are sitting there slobbering all over the driveway, Pat. Look at you.
Sorry.
That's what we call a Super Soaker Pat. Send her a
How do we
Polaroid
get
of her
here?
cock, she'll
How
be
do we
happy
get
for
here?
hours.
I don't know. It's Papa Meat.
There's no way.
Jesus.
After living in her neighborhood for 13 years with no issues, a new management company took over and started endlessly targeting her with huge violations and fees. It was me. I was like, how old is she? All right, stack it up and get her out. It started with her trash cans being visible. That irks me the most, dude. Which is hard for her to move frequently because of her age, because she's older than Father Time itself. Next, it was the way her host looked in her yard, as well as the lawn art. She probably had little gnomes.
Oh.
They started asking her to deep clean the outside of her property.
They would come at us for my cows.
Yes.
No, my cows. And they come at you for not cleaning the house.
Civil, but the late fees
the
started
house.
to pile.
No, I mean the outside of the house.
I clean the outside except for the side. I need to spray it down with some more mold killer.
Up when she was not able to get jobs done fast enough because she's so old. I can't scrub fast. Here's your Polaroid picture of my cock.
Polaroid picture of my cock.
What? I heard cock.
Right.
I heard cock.
They started
Where's
asking
the
her
cock?
to deep clean the outside of her property. She obliged each time to keep things civil, but the late fees started to pile up when she was not able to get jobs done fast enough because she's so old. I can't scrub faster.
That's horrible.
Here's your Polaroid picture of my cock. Ooh.
Old man wants to be.
A lot of gold, but young people want to hoard lots of Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic cards. Oh my god, you're right.
Oh yeah, after this we're...
Anime figures, video games, you name it, I'll hoard it, and it's completely worthless to everyone else but
You're
me.
getting distracted. Your lips keep drooling all over the yard there.
Sorry, I'm easily distracted.
Logan from behind.
Be gentle.
You have to put the gnomes up. Not the
What the fuck are we talking
daily
about?
$25 infraction fee began to pile up, and Pat Kramer was panicking as she tried to make calls to her HOA to slow down the fees as she completed the request. I can
Yes,
only
this is
clean
ridiculous.
and mow so fast. You gotta stop. They're like, never. Hang up. They wouldn't return. They wouldn't return her calls after an entire year. Please call me back. Who is
That's
it, Pat
so
Kramer?
scummy.
Which, here's the thing, guys. The fees racked up to a staggering $17,000. How many years went by when they were just put it under tab? We're gonna get Pat out of here. We're gonna cripple Pat before she dies. We're gonna cripple this pup before she goes down. Which, a price that Kramer could not financially afford. She hired a lawyer who soon gave her the bad news that the HOA is completely within their right to treat her this way.
You know what's depressing?
What?
It sounds like this poor old lady is living alone.
Oh yeah.
That's what's sounding really depressing about this.
So she had, did she pay it?
It sounds like
I
it.
was like, she's like, I don't have enough money. I'll pay you a lawyer. It's all I have. He's just like, you're
And here's my lawyer fees.
And then also, I did work for 28 hours on this. At $300 an hour, you do that math as well. Oh, no! It's like, don't worry, though. I did include a Polaroid of my cock. Oh! Everyone's like, I wish Pat would get the hell out of here, actually. The whole community
It's
stuff.
sad and horrible what's
Sometimes
happening
even the
to
most
this woman,
minor
but, oh my
infractions
God,
can
Papa
lead
needs.
homeowners down a road of crippling debt. Like with the $40,000 fence violation. God damn, we really are just raising these, aren't we, huh? 15 to 17, now 40? Betty Hooker.
Ooh.
My name's Betty Hooker. What do you think my job is?
It's like a lot of names or last names of the removed from what they used to be, like the Cooks, like other names, like they're. So Hooker.
That's right, I teach social studies. Betty Hooker wanted to construct a fence in the backyard in her Maryland home back in 2017, which would cost $8,000. She received all proper permissions from her HOA before building it, ladies and gentlemen. When it was done, she was told that the fence was too close to the community's common area. They had come down and measured it out, determining that it was exactly 8 inches too close. It's so obnoxious. You see it sometimes with like HOA people like actually bringing out rulers.
A blacksmith. Well, that's one interesting family tree name.
Betty Hooker, are you in cahoots with Pat Kramer? No! no! Betty thought that this was absurd, and likely the dispute was more about enforcing silly rules over obstructing common community zones. The HOA wasn't going to let this go, however, and months later, after notifying her that they would seek legal action if nothing is done about the fence, Betty wanted them to pay for it, and the lengthy dispute resulted in an official complaint to the county court by the HOA. Betty was certain that the judge would understand how silly this was, right? But she actually ended up losing and was being forced to pay a daily $25 fee that would start from back when the violation was first brought up.
What? That's horrible.
I like how she's like, this old man's gonna know what's up. He's like, it's 8 inches too... Guilty! She finally moved the fence to avoid further problems, but the HOA inspected it and told her it was still not following their guide.
Oh my god. These people are just monsters. Just parasitic monsters.
Why don't you come out, draw a line where I can put this fence, and then I'll put it there, and then you're going to sign a legal thing saying you agreed this was where the fence was.
Needs to be, or whatever.
It's like they were going to, like, when my car, when the radiator fell out, because 2 years ago I got in an accident, and I took it to a dealership to get the repairs done. Remember how the radiator fell out last year? They were thinking of not paying to fix it 2 years later because they forgot to put the fucking bolts in the
Oh, you're talking about the assholes who fixed your radiator, right?
my car, basically.
Okay, and they fucked up fixing it.
Whoever put the radiator back in either then tightened the bolts or then put them back in because when they took it off because when they pulled the transmission line out of the car and all the transmission was leaked out. They were like, well, we weren't sure we were going to pay for it. I'm like, no, you're going to fucking pay for this because it's your shop that fixed my car.
Yep. And they fucked it up.
Eventually, they changed their mind and they paid to fix it.
Hooray for car guy.
It took Betty right back to court, where she was ordered to pay an even more exorbitant fee on top of her attorney fees, totaling $40,000. I would kill myself in the cul-de-sac of my neighborhood if this happened to me. I would take a fucking gun and...
No. I just burn out everybody else's house on top of that.
This is how you can justify being a thief.
In Minecraft.
Blow my brains out and make everybody watch. Especially if people are like, I don't care. But 8 inches to the community. I'm like, who cares? Is it on her property? Yeah, who cares, dude? If it was going into other people's yards, I'd be like, well, no, that's not your...
I am slowly... I want to try playing Commander, but I didn't have enough... I didn't know the rules and stuff. Actually, after we're done here with this final episode, Truckerman and I are going to our local card place, and I'm going to play a tournament there. The only reason I'm getting back into Magic is just because of the Final Fantasy decks. Savarava!
Property. 8 inches to the... I can't. Sorry.
8 inches is huge.
Oh, trust me, 8 inches is huge. Like sizes that probably people don't really ever see. Maybe in videos, but not in real life. Betty told reporters about her feelings at the moment.
Toys, we see it.
She's like, I feel bad. Yeah, everyone does, dude. Have you heard of Pat Kramer, the Polaroid hound of Florida? And Betty was claiming it was, quote, devastating, mentally, emotionally, and financially. But it didn't stop there, because the HOA wanted to seize her home to pay for the debts. The issue with the fence was becoming more and more trivial. The fence itself only had less than an inch encroaching into the community's common area. Less than an inch. See, that's more normal, though. That's normal size. Yeah.
Not small, normal.
Not small, I'm just saying normal size. Normal. Fortunately, the HOA had broken rules as well. The rule in their governing document claims that the fines were improperly assessed in an abusive way and that the homeowners were not given proper due process. Because of this, the fees were all dropped.
Good, yay!
Yes! Betty Hooker had quite the ending, unlike our girl Pat Kramer.
No,
Pat had to pay that. You think you can drop mine? Go off, Pat, and pay it. Okay. In one of the more cruel examples of the HOA's disregard for homeowners, a soldier in Iraq had his home taken away from him. Probably while he was in Iraq.
And his wife, too.
They took away the wife, too.
I'm just making it. He probably lost his house and wife.
Michael Clower, who was a captain in the Army Reserve in Iraq, returned home in Frisco, Texas, to find that his $300,000 home had gone into foreclosure. His wife May took care of the 2 kids while her husband was shipped out to Iraq and soon slipped into a deep depression. She was terrified of losing her husband, to the point where she avoided checking the mail in fear of getting news of his death. Because of this, she had missed the HOA's letter alerting them that they had $800 in dues that needed to be paid. Oh God, God forbid. Yeah, so actually you owe us that. So if you don't, we're going to kill you and your family. We're Al-Qaeda. The HOA, we're terrorists.
HOAs
This was ignored.
Support scalpers and B12.
Probably.
When this was ignored, the HOA started sending letters informing that they were getting ready to foreclose on the debt by seizing and selling their home. The worst part was, the home was only sold for a measly $3,500, as it was just...
How much did they say it was originally?
300,000.
And only 30?
3,500. So 3,500. That's probably just to pay off the fines.
That's disgusting!
Yeah.
It's a vehicle for them to get back.
Paired with players who will make the event fun for you. I'm gonna, if it's anything like last time, I'm gonna be the winner of the whole thing by losing to every match.
The small debt that they were owed. May was shocked that the HOA never once visited the home in person to get a response from her, and that her home could just be sold without her getting, not a penny from it. They worked with the lawyer to try and reverse this foreclosure based on the fact that the affidavit from the HOA's lawyer did not account for Michael's deployment. They had also set up a legal defense fund and eventually sued the association in federal court. They awarded a generous settlement and were able to finally reclaim their home.
Yay!
You know what? Americans truly won that day, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Our man went over, paid his dues, and he paid his dues back in the States as well. God bless you, sir. Also, we should do Stolen Valor sometime, just for fun.
We're working on that.
Yeah, just for fun. I just want to do it for fun.
Oh, you mean? Oh,
yeah. We should just go out into the library and do Stolen Valor.
I do that every weekend.
I'm going to join you then. And lastly, I want to talk about a hero. I want to talk about the man who killed his HOA president.
Oh! Wow, this is a good one to end off on.
Justified?
And his wife. He's not a hero. I take that back. Hugh Hootman is a 75-year-old man that was infuriated due to a simple dispute between him and his neighbors. Apparently, the community laundry room door was left open. Oh my God! 81-year-old Henry Wallace, another resident, confronted Hootman about it and began screaming at him and his wife. Later on...
Is this the basis for 2 grumpy old men?
Except it gets bad fast.
Hootman saw Wallace while he was grabbing his mail from the community mailbox. There, he approached Wallace and told him that he needed to apologize the way he treated the 2 of them. Wallace brushed it off without responding, and that caused Hootman to lose his cool. He pulled out his 9mm pistol and shot him 2 times in the chest.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
I'm just gonna laugh at it, sir.
Well,
sorry, nothing was justified there. It's just plain out murder. As well as I wonder about the old man's mental capacity, mental faculties.
You okay over there?
No.
It's just so stupid. You apologize to me right now. No.
So basically murder.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to justify why I left. His wife, Ginger Wallace, was also the HOA president. Rushed out of the apartment screaming for help. Ah! Hootman fired 2 more shots at Ginger, killing her as well. And afterwards, he simply took a seat on the couch of his apartment and told his wife, quote, "Call the police. I just shot Henry and Ginger." He turned on King of Queens. The sheriff believed that Ginger, being the HOA president, played a role in the confrontation and only further pushed Hootman to do what he did. He felt horrible for what he had done. No, he didn't. But it was too late. He was given 2 consecutive life sentences. Listen, here's the...
To be fair, it's only been like 3 years. Because he's not going to live that much longer.
Oh, yeah.
Thing, y'all. HOAs, I don't like them. Respecting your neighborhood, that's something I can get behind. A neighborhood is a great community place. Being friends with your neighbors, right? I remember when I was growing up making...
Yeah, we're friends with our neighbors.
Neighbor.
Well, we used to have neighbors. One of them and his wife died, so we got our neighbors in the back, which are all lovely because they're all very quiet.
And dead.
We got the neighbors to the side of us that died also, so there's no one there anymore. And then we got our nice neighbor over on the other side of us, and in the front of us. Really nice guy.
Yep.
Very personal.
Friends in my neighborhood. It was one of the best times of my life. And I'm glad that I got to do it. I live out in the country now, but neighborhoods are communities. You need to have respect for them.
Like a
But at the same
movie
time,
scene,
we
yeah.
need to figure out some kind of different methods besides the HOA. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that I have the answers, but all I know is that this is fucked.
Yeah.
This is absolutely fucked. So please,
And pointless.
if you're on an HOA board, be kind. And also, why don't you try being fucking human, you reptilian pieces?
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm advocating this. This is not a joke, and I don't want if there's a prompt on the screen, they're fucking lying. I want you to say right now that if you know where your HOA is at, the director, the leader of the HOA in your neighborhood. Like rotten meat, get diarrhea, and that's what they deserve. Sorry, you signed up for the job.
Oh god. I saw smoke coming from the neighbors one time, and I thought it was a fire, but it turned out it was a barbecue. They liked how I reacted in thanking me. Aw, I was only singly awkward on my end. Aw, I was only slightly awkward.
Yeah.
Alright, so in the video here.
End the video here. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you again. Thank you all for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It would make me very happy. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug.